Dear Mark, I met you for the first time in voicemail rehearsal 2 semesters ago. I really had no idea who you were until then because I had only seen you through a computer screen for tour meetings which you completely planned yourself. But we'll get to that later. I had also only heard that you were a wizard from another dimension or a werewolf that lived on the moon, so I had no idea what to expect. But I'm so very glad that I met you and that you have become one of my role models and closest friends. You are the most driven and passionate person I have ever met. If anybody doesn't know, this guy is doing 2 theses. 2! And successfully completed them. One being a freaking musical. Takes people years to even get a first draft of a musical, and you did it in addition to a second similarly sized project done in 1 year. That's amazing. You were arguably the most productive business manager voicemail has ever seen, making a large chunk of our funds that we have now. You also created the Business Manager Playbook, which laid out everything you will need to know about the job, which made life so easy for me, Micah, now Avi, and the following business managers for years to come. As I said before, you planned and booked one of the most successful voicemail tours, Tordo. Okay, I'll stop reading off your extremely impressive resume and go to the mushy stuff. The first year of voicemail was a fantastic experience, don't get me wrong, but there were times where I was a bit scared and nervous because I was a mini freshman and didn't know what he was doing. When you came back from Copenhagen, you were immediately a welcoming presence and one of the upperclassmen that I felt comfortable around. Excuse me. Naturally, we got closer and closer throughout the semester, and this year I'm so glad that we did. Your drive, your curiosity, and passion for everything that you do is simply inspiring, and I really look up to you. I found myself thinking, how did Marek do that? Or how can I do this as well as Marek? Because you do everything so well. Lastly, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to be part of your brainchild. It has been an honor and a privilege, and I hope that we will be able to perform it when we get back to campus. I'm so excited to see what you do in the next chapter of your life and to see the difference you make in this world. I love you, man, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Yinan, on graduations from Brandeis and acceptance into graduate school. It was my great honor and pleasure to be able to work with you either in class or in rehearsals. You're always open to possibilities and are capable of transforming words into powerful images with your neat and unconstrained styles. In every work you were involved in, you sprinkled imaginative details and on top of solid research and dedications. And you bring in such unique energy. You light up the room and brightens everyone's heart. And we all fell in love with your energy. And it was such a comfort for me to have you around when I was lost and spangled, struggling for my class project, or just to share my little moments of the day. I mean, it's just great to know that I always have someone that I can trust with my joys and grits. I'm incredibly fortunate to have someone like you in my life. I hope we could get together soon and make gigantic amount of dumplings. I would love to see you again on campus and in a theater. And I hope you have a great time studying in grad school, and we will miss you a lot.
Maryam, first off, I just want to say congratulations on graduating. I'm so happy for you for reaching the end of your journey at Brandeis, and I am so blessed that I got to be a part of it. To me, you are just the perfect embodiment of what theater at Brandeis should be. You are so sweet and talented and considerate and so fun to work with. I remember the first time I saw you perform, you were in Once Upon a Mattress, and I was in the audience as a freshman, and I just remember noticing you so much because you just had these amazing facial expressions, and you were so dedicated to your role, and I suddenly started realizing, I hoped that maybe our paths would cross, in the future, and luckily my wish got granted. I first really got to know you in Godspell when I was the costumer and you were the day-by-day soloist. I just remember being totally wowed by your dedication and the love that you put into your performance, and all of the time you spent making Godspell such an amazing show that it was, and I just knew then, I was like, I have to be in a show with this girl. And I'm so glad that I did. I got the chance to be in Love and Information with you, and you just played so many different roles in that show, from a deeply troubled mental patient to a worried mother to a storyteller to a small child who is just watching a snail. It was so wonderful to watch you approach so many different roles with respect and dedication and just absolutely nail every single one of them. And it may have been a small scene, but the scene where we both stared at a snail together is one of my favorite theater moments at Brandeis. And during that process, I was so excited to learn how sweet and down to earth you were, from chatting in the wings backstage or to our chats as I drove you home after late night rehearsals. I felt like I could be really honest and open with you, and we would just laugh over the same like anxious thoughts that we were having about like our crazy process of being on a department show. And like, it was such a relief to share things with you. And you've given so much to the Brandeis Theater Department and to theater in general, and I think you've truly left your mark here. And we always said, you know, like, we would always pass each other, and we always say, like, oh, we have to get coffee or get lunch sometime and just, you know, catch up, because I think I love spending time with you, and I'm so sad that we did not have the rest of the semester to take you up on that offer. But just know that if you are ever in the area, I would be more than happy to hang out with you anytime. And I know that you're going on to do some really amazing things, and I am so excited to see what your future holds. Congratulations, and I love you.
Hi everyone, this is Nate, and I'm here to talk about Sophia Masita, aka Fifi. Fifi has been a tremendously large part of the Brandeis theater community over the past 4 years, and it's really just because they're just so passionate about theater and making theater in all its forms. They've directed their own shows in free play and HGP and acted in basically everything you can act in at Brandeis. And it's really not because of pride or anything, it's just because Fifi just loves theater and loves performing and loves making people smile and happy, and laugh more than anything in the world. And that is something that is so rare, just that innate love of performing and putting on a show for people, in a very pure way. And I didn't really know Fifi too well until we decided to travel to Moscow and study there together, where we got to be scene partners and we got to run around Moscow on a daily basis, seeing as much cool theater as possible. Like, we probably saw 20 shows together in a matter of 3 months, just randomly seeing what was playing and sneaking into theaters and seeing so much weird but awesome stuff. And Fifi, there was no one in the world that I would rather have that experience with. You taught me so much about theater and who I am as a performer. I know I would not be the theater artist I am today if it weren't for you. So, to honor you, I'm going to teach everyone how to take a proper shot of vodka. So, everyone, I have my Moscow shot glass here. Everyone, fill up your cups. And what we're going to do is we're going to first toast to Fifi, and then you breathe out, and before you breathe back in, you take the shot. And then you wince a little, and then you eat some bread. But I don't have bread, so we're not going to do that. So, to Fifi. Congrats.
Hello, my name is Renata, and I'm here to talk about the one and only Maia Cataldo. So, when I first started thinking about how I wanted to write this speech for Maia, all I could think of was a lot of jokes. I was going to wear a pink Fitbit and start off by telling everyone what time it was. Then I'd pull some pink overalls out of my pink fanny pack and put them on, all while balancing a bottle of pink honey jack on my head. Then I realized I don't own a Fitbit, overalls, or a fanny pack, pink or otherwise, and I'm definitely not talented enough to balance anything on my head for more than a second, and even if I could, it would never be as funny as Maia doing it herself. So I'm just going to leave all the clowning up to her and instead tell you the story of how I came to love and admire Maia as an artist and as a wonderful person. Even though we only spoke in passing from the pre-orientation camping trip we went on together until her last year here, I always watched as she grew and shined on stage and off. She stood out with her beautiful and magical performance in The Sparrow, her fun and creative direction of Beauty and the Beast, the way she wore those braids in Godspell, her way too cute friendship with Karina Wen, her range in Love and Information, the boob t-shirts she wore while she kicked ass in London, her award-winning Instagram birthday shoutouts, her absolutely hilarious and totally accurate impression of Woody Allen in The Tempest, and most importantly, the way she would scream, "Hi, Renata!" at me while giving prospective students the best tours this campus has to offer. As much as Maia has impressed me with her endless talents, dedication, and passion, I'm most amazed by her never-ending kindness, care, and free spirit. I've truly never laughed and let go of stress backstage so much with anyone, and I'm forever grateful for all the time we spent doing puzzles and gossiping about Love is Blind, something we're still doing today. Although I'm really sad that we can't all be together in person to give Maia the great big group hug she deserves, I'm really thankful for the opportunity to be able to sing her praises and recognize how much she has meant to all of us throughout her time in the theater community at Brandeis. I think I speak for everyone when I say we sincerely love you, Maia, and wish you all the best always. As you get ready to head out into this now enormously scary, crazy world and figure out what your next adventure is going to be, I'd like to leave you with some words of wisdom that I hope you'll recognize. We know you can fly, you just have to do it while you carry the weight. Love you, Maia. This would be the part where we would hug and everybody would cheer. So, yay, Maia! Mwah, love you. Congratulations.
Hey Adina! Surprise! I'm doing your banquet speech. Who would have guessed it, right? So funny, I know, but who would have thought 4 years ago that I would be giving your UTC banquet speech? We had no idea I was even coming to Brandeis, so it's crazy that we are here. I really want to start by talking about all the shows that you've done during your UTC career, starting out with Urinetown. I remember when I was a junior in high school and you were a freshman at Brandeis that you were auditioning for Urinetown. Well, first of all, I was so in awe at the fact that you were moving up from high school to college shows. That's a huge step. And I was just so excited that you were going to be able to experience that. And I remember being like a little stage sister. Like not a stage mom, like a stage sister. I was like, okay, so tell me about the callbacks. How was everybody? And all that stuff. And it was a fantastic show. I loved every minute. You were such a shining star on that stage. And then you went on to be Ariel in Footloose, the leading lady. And you absolutely crushed it. I could not take my eyes off of you when you were on that stage. It was so fantastic. You really just led that cast and that show, and you made that show beautiful and so enjoyable for the audience. It was just something that I'll always remember sitting in that audience and watching you. Then you went on to do Once Upon a Mattress, such a fun show. I loved how the UTC, and you were kind of in like a different show, like more like fairy tale type. It was so awesome to watch. And then, what else in UTC? You did Noises Off. You were in a play. That was kind of out of the realm for you. You kind of stuck to more musicals. So it was so awesome to see you in a play, and you obviously crushed it. You were hysterical. It was awesome. What a fantastic play. And then, Little Women. I feel like Little Women was a really great way to kind of end off your UTC career. It was so beautiful. It was one of my favorite roles I've ever seen you do. You absolutely killed it. I'm still in awe. I'm at a loss for words for that show. It was beautiful. So just think about that, Adina. 4 years ago, would you have thought you would have done all that? But you did it. And you were absolutely fantastic. And that was just on the stage. Off the stage, you were the events coordinator. Like, wow. And you killed it. A banquet last year was so fun. Everything that you did, the movie nights, everything that you did for the UTC as an events coordinator was epic. So just think about that. You did that on and off the stage. You were such a huge participant and a huge member of the community. You're going to be so missed next year. And you're just so loved. And you really left your mark on the UTC. And you should be really proud of that. And I know that I'm really proud of you. So, thank you for everything that you've done for the UTC, Adina. The entire UTC loves you and appreciates you, and I know that we all can't wait to see the amazing things that you're going to do in the future. So, mwah, love you, and yeah, class of 2020!
I signed up to write this speech for Caroline, but it didn't feel quite right coming from just me here alone, so I decided to ask for a little help.
Hello, Caroline. When Lizzie asked me if I would like to help her give this speech, I said, of course, I'd be delighted.
Hello, Caroline. I'm so excited to help write this speech for the astonishing Caroline. I loved getting to work with Caroline during Little Women, although I do wish I had been here to see her bop to the top as Sharpay in High School Musical.
Caroline is such a hard worker. During rehearsal, you'll always find her practicing her fight choreo or running her lines on repeat. She brought grace and maturity to Meg, but also a little spunk. She was determined to bring some feminist flair to a character that's sometimes portrayed as traditional or demure, and she definitely accomplished that. She would have made Louisa May Alcott proud.
Caroline is so easy to collaborate with because she always brings her all the time. She is also extremely selfless and encouraging, and I'm so grateful for the times we've been able to work together on audition materials, always coming out better in the end.
I was so excited to get to work with Caroline again this semester as part of the Senior Thesis Festival, and I wish with all my heart that I'd gotten to watch her shine on the Brandeis stage one last time, but I'm sure that I will get to see her perform again someday.
Caroline, I'm so thankful to not only have been your little sister on stage, but to have gotten to be your friend in real life. From practicing Tagalog phrases all around the theater, to debating over the proper canoeing techniques, becoming your friend made Little Women such a special experience.
Caroline, I'm so grateful to have officially met you this year. The moments I spent on stage with you were some of my favorites. I will forever treasure our trips to Home Depot, the late movie nights, and the baking sessions.
Caroline, I will always be the Beth to your Meg, but more importantly, the Tam to your Kim. I loved our pre-show hair curling sessions and all of our many adventures, even the one that included going to 2 different Paul's auto body shops in the span of 20 minutes.
I will always remember that your passenger door does not open all the way. I will never forget first meeting you in those SCC chairs, and you, Caroline, will not disappear without a trace.
I can't wait for your next great adventure to begin, and I'm so thankful that I will be there to listen and hear about all the amazing things you do along the way.
Promise that you'll come back and visit so that it can be the 4 of us together, side by side, again.
It'll always be the 4 March sisters. Forever!
Forever!
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah, and I would like to take a little bit of time to talk about the very special, very talented, and very well-loved Karina Wen. Karina was one of the first people I met at Brandeis and my first director in the UTC. I remember meeting her at callbacks for Hookman and thinking she was someone I wanted to get to know better. I'm so glad I did. Karina's passion and drive was evident from our first rehearsal, and she's always had a brilliant way of balancing work with play. From dramatically smiling during Good Day Sunshine, to bouncing up and down singing Brown Squirrel, to marching on beat during Janelle Monáe, the experiences I have shared with Karina have been so unique and even more memorable. I hope many of you have had the joy of working with Karina in some capacity during your time at Brandeis. I hope you experienced her drive and passion, her vegan pride, and her warm heart. Karina, thank you for all the time we spent together and the experiences you gave me. You inspired me and have always encouraged me, and I am so grateful to call you both a friend and a mentor. I think I speak for all who know you when I say you'll be missed dearly. Know that wherever you go, you will always have this community. My heart is happy as I think back on all the memories we have shared. Keep making memories and making people smile along the way. We love you, Karina.
So I thought it would be easy to talk about Norma, but as it turns out, it is very difficult to describe such an incredible individual in under 2 minutes. They say brevity is the soul of wit, so I'll try to be brief. I think it goes without saying that Norma is truly a godsend. Anyone who has crossed paths with Norma knows how much light she brings into a room. We all know Norma is an incredible actor and theatrical collaborator, but above all, Norma is one of the most sincere and genuine human beings I've ever had the privilege of knowing. Norma has this way of bringing so much love into everything she does. I'm a very cynical person, and I've often found myself staring in awe at her effortless ability to see the good in everyone. My first interaction with Norma was during callbacks for Blithe Spirit. Norma comes into the room and proceeds to give the most ferocious and committed performance, and to this day I have never witnessed an audition that was as moving and inspiring. At that moment, I knew I had to become friends with her. Norma and I first bonded over our mutual fear of everyone and everything. And yet, in the face of adversity, Norma is exceptionally brave. She is loving, and she is a force to be reckoned with. I truly cannot wait to see what she does next. I've often found myself wishing that I was more like Norma, but the truth is, there will never be anyone quite like her. Congratulations, Norma. We all love you.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate and mourn the departure of our beloved Zachary Garrett.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Great to be here. Oh, man. You know, that guy Zack, he's... What do you do again?
Zack was truly an amazing guy. He was a gifted actor, being in multiple UTC shows. He was an incredible magician, and he was a very good Smash Bros. Player.
Rumor has it, he's pretty good at Smash Brothers. It's not true. I know. I'm the only one here who's beaten him.
Zack is best known for his role as Scrawny Father in every production he has ever been in.
I remember when I first saw Zack act, the first thing I thought was, man, this guy's amazing. And then I thought, wait a second, he's just a dad who's a little bit too daddly for his own good.
He is also a budding mathematician with amazing math abilities, high scores, and plenty of math jargon that I will never understand.
A little known fact is that Zack was also my magic tutor. During Eurydice, I decided I wanted to learn how to do card tricks. Zack came up to me. He said, Garrett, the fuck are you doing? I said, Zack, I'm doing magic tricks. He's like, oh, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a bit of a magician myself. And then he said, poof! I was like, holy shit, where'd you get that? He said, I took it from you 2 days ago. That didn't actually happen, but he was really helpful for me.
We thank you so much, Zack, for everything you've done for this school and for the UTC. May you rest truly in peace.
Hi everyone! I wanted to take a minute or two to talk about a very important person, Caitlin Crane Moskowitz. I first met Caitlin 2 years ago at my first rehearsal for this little unknown show called Heathers, in which Caitlin was playing Heather McNamara and choreographing. I came into the process a week before opening night, but that's a story for another time, and Caitlin helped me get caught up on everything I had missed. Caitlin's warmth and enthusiasm helped me get through my first musical since I was 11, and although she'll say that she was a mess, her words, not mine, her calm, cool, and collected energy left me starstruck and inspired. Through Heathers, I found out that Caitlin was also in DPHE, and was one of the people who inspired me to rush the next semester. Going through recruitment was overwhelming and chaotic at times, and knowing that Caitlin was in the room, smiling brightly as ever as an assistant recruitment chair, was always a good sign. Caitlin was also my right-hand woman this semester as we collaborated on the DPHE new member process, which she graciously balanced with putting together her thesis. And my first semester in DeFi leadership would not have been as productive as it was without her guidance and support. As we became closer throughout the years, I also had the privilege and honor of watching Caitlin shine in performances such as Dream a Little Dream, The Bot Love and Information, Twelfth Night, many Gabe Walker productions, and of course her astounding thesis speech and debate. While I was not here for her UTC heyday, I'm sure I would have loved to see her performances in Urinetown, Footloose, and that other one, I think it's called The Sparrow? Caitlin, you are truly a tour de force of Brandeis Theater. When Caitlin Crane Moskowitz walks into a room, the energy instantly changes. Everything is brighter and sunnier and calmer. Caitlin has the power to instantly make your day better, as she has done for me many times throughout the past 2 years. She will answer your off-the-wall 2 a.m. text messages, read your emails to make sure they make some sort of sense, laugh with you until you can't breathe, and be a shoulder to cry on when things get rough. Most importantly, though, she will love you so much. Caitlin, I'm going to miss you so much next year, and it will be so different not seeing your smiling face walking into Lower Green with a Starbucks iced mocha in hand. While I know this was not the ending you intended, I know you will succeed in the next phase of your life, no matter what it has in store for you. Thank you for your endless positivity, laughter, and kindness, and may you always be joyful, loving, and above all else, fearless. Thank you for everything, and congratulations. Love, Gabby.
Dear Haia, you have been an inspiration and guiding force for me here at Brandeis. Your positive attitude and knowledge will serve you well in the future. From the moment I met you, I felt accepted and at home in the theater department. Your sweetness is on par with Susan's, and I could not have been happier to do 3 shows here at Brandeis with you. Seeing you in the audition room for Love and Information made me immediately feel less nervous and more excited. Doing UTC with you was tons of fun, really cool, and extremely enjoyable. Your thesis was an amazing piece I wish we could have finished the way you envisioned. I feel as though we all have learned so much from you and grew just by having you as a friend. And anyone to cross your path in the future will be nothing short of amazed by your knowledge, heart, and talent. Everything you do is outstanding, and I wish we had met sooner, but I'm glad we met when we did. You were one of the first real friends I made here, and I'm sad to see you go, but happy to watch you flourish. I hope to work with you and see you again. Happy graduation.
Alrighty, Miss Rachel Green, how are we going to do this? I started writing this speech about 2 years ago, and I'm still not quite sure I've figured out how to do justice to you, but we're going to try. So get ready, Rachel, for a whole lot of words of affirmation. Whether we are enspingled at midnight, distracting each other from more productive things by quoting Shakespeare to each other, talking about something other than Shakespeare, which is almost possible for us to do, thank you very much, or rehearsing a scene. Some of the best hours I've had at Brandeis were those spent with you. You are an exemplary friend who always gives spot-on advice. I'm continuously inspired and blown away by the dedication, passion, and work ethic with which you go after the things you care about, and I have no doubt you have made it into the UDR Hall of Fame. You are a kick-ass actor who never does things halfway, and when I watch you on stage, I am torn between friend pride, being enthralled by the story you are telling, and jealousy for whoever your scene partner is, because acting with you is such a joy. There are no words to describe how lucky I am to have found a friend like you, and the impact you have had on me and the entire theater community at Brandeis will be felt for years to come. So when you go conquer the world with your strong, smart, stunning, talented, creative, generous, hilarious, and empathetic self, know that the friends you made at Brandeis will be there, believing in you every step of the way. I love you, Rachel.
Hi everybody, my name is Natalie, and today I have the pleasure of talking about one of my good friends, Molly Rocker. Whenever someone talks about the UTC of theater, Molly is one of the first people to come to mind. Their impact on the UTC and on my time at Brandeis has been immeasurable. Molly was one of my first friends in the UTC and at Brandeis in general. As a head TA in both of my fall shows, they gave me a lot of support and advice that helped me get through a really busy time. I was really nervous about designing a college show my freshman year, but Molly was always there to support me, whether it was staying an extra hour during tech weeks or patiently explaining new concepts to me. Not only that, but they were always there to lend a shoulder for me to lean on. Whenever I was exhausted or stressed or just having a bad day, I knew I could always count on them being there with a warm hug. And being able to have that support really meant a lot, especially when I was trying to navigate through freshman year. Although I haven't worked directly with them on a show, I know without a doubt that they are an extremely hardworking and talented set designer and carpenter. And I'm sure that most people listening to this can attest to their skill and devotion. It seems like every conversation we have, I always learn something new and interesting. And honestly, I aspire to one day be that knowledgeable and passionate about something. I know that with their work ethic and compassion, they will succeed in their future. And so to Molly, I will always remember and cherish the memories we've made together, and I wish you the best in your future adventures. I will always miss you greatly and will be looking forward to seeing you again.
Hello. I hope you're all having a Zoom-tastic day. I must say, I was pretty intimidated at first at the idea of doing a speech for Ben. I mean, he's a literal king of public speaking and storytelling. Like, you can't brush shoulders with a guy without him bursting into a dramatic retelling of a story. Hell, have you seen this TEDx talk yet? Have you followed his Instagram, @Supertrans? I'm like the William Henry Harrison to his Obama. Everyone with a brain knows he's better at this, and I'm better at doing something so stupid out of hubris I'd probably spontaneously die. My first memory of Ben is probably shared among many of the upperclassmen. The 24-hour musical Seussical, where he played the Cat in the Hat. He was incredible. He was jovial, he was energetic, and absolutely hilarious. It was right out of the hit 2003 live-action movie, maybe less Michael Myers and more Michael Cera. I remember being on 3 hours of sleep and begrudgingly going to the SCC to join a circle of actors and prod staff doing icebreakers and warm-ups. At the center was Ben, telling a story. It was something intimate and embarrassing. He likes to do that, tell wild, often embarrassing stories from his past, just to make people laugh. It was something about him. Maybe the way he so easily took to the limelight. Maybe it was the way he flaps his hands around and widens his eyes like a fish out of the water. All I knew was that I wasn't cranky from waking up so early anymore. I meet Ben properly that same semester when we did our first show together, The Sparrow. In it, I played his dad. We joked that it was like I was his cool dad and he was my wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm-flailing tube man of a child. The joke persisted until we played Gaston on the Foo in Beauty and the Beast, and calling each other father and son became very weird considering the high sexual tension between our characters and our stuffed last-minute stage kiss. During the production, I saw Ben have more unbridled joy acting than I knew could be had by anyone. He would just laugh through the craziest things. Like during one show, when during a blackout, he lost his hat and while trying to find it on the ground, fully fell off the stage into the audience. In his next show, Noises Off, Ben got to venture beyond his typical role of goofy small boy who scrunches his face a lot to angry college director who hates everyone and cheats on his girlfriend. So the actual antithesis of Ben. I hated it, but it was hilarious. Outside the UTC, he showed off his drama skills in senior theses, including Near Xanadu, which was fantastic, and was a part of that show that I will not name, that almost happened but didn't for reasons that I will not name. If you know, you know. Like a typical upperclassman in theater, Ben started working behind the scenes, mostly in production. He works non-stop solving logistical problems, mentoring those new to their position, helping with tech as a TA, and generally just doing anything and everything he can to keep the show running and its participants happy. I think just about every person here knows and looks up to Ben. He's an entertainer, he's a giver, and he does literally anything the theater community needs of him. He's generally non-confrontational, but will absolutely stand up for those he loves. He helps his friends through their darkest times and is their cheerleader in their brightest. He does that Because just like how we look up to him, he looks up to all of us. He's an actor, producer, a techie, and a storyteller to serve the community. But most importantly, he's our friend. We love you, Ben, and we'll miss you.
When Liora Lilienthal isn't in dance rehearsals for whichever UTC musical she is choreographing at a given time, she can be found spending time with her friends, regaling them with tales about how frustrating it is to choreograph whichever UTC musical she is choreographing at a given time. Liora is like Abby Lee from Dance Moms, except that she is yet to be arrested for committing bankruptcy fraud, though I think we can all agree that that is imminent. In truth, Liora cannot be more unlike Abby Lee. For one thing, anybody who has had the pleasure of taking instruction from Liora will tell you that she is a pleasure to work with, even though she's from Florida. I had such a pleasure during my spring semester freshman year when Liora choreographed the open cast production of Beauty and the Beast. It was our director, Maia Cataldo's inspired vision and Leora's choreography, which she devised with Sophie Brill-White's, that enabled me to transform into the French candlestick that I always knew I was, deep inside. I wasn't always a patient candlestick in those days. At many a rehearsal, I would grow overwhelmed with the choreography, but Liora never ceased to be patient with me, and worked with me inside and outside of the rehearsal space to perfect my dances. And, if that did not work, she would at least train me not to look at my feet when I was getting everything wrong anyway. I know I am not the only person at this banquet who can say they forged a friendship with Liora through their mutual involvement in the UTC. And while that may be true, I'd like to think that I will be the only one of us who will be calling Liora my stage mom until my dying breath. Liora, thank you for your service to this club, your passion, and your creativity. Most of all, thank you for your friendship. We are all going to miss you very much, but know you'll find a way to pass on your sage dance knowledge to another generation of disciples at NYU's Graduate Psych program. We love you.
Hi everybody, if you don't know me already, my name is Natalie, and today I'm honored to talk about my good friend and mentor, Jacob Burrs. Well, Jake was only here for my freshman year, and although I'm sure he's ready to be set free from Brandeis, the time we did have together was really special for me. When I first joined the UTC, I was actually really intimidated by Jake. If you know me, you probably know that I'm easily intimidated in the first place, but everyone that I talked to kept telling me about this amazing Jake person who basically carried the lighting department, which seemed like really big shoes to fill. I'm the type of person that gets really anxious about doing things right the first time, so in the beginning I probably asked and re-asked him a lot of stupid questions, but he just answered them without any judgment and probably a sarcastic comment thrown in. And it might seem like something small, but I know that not every lighting department is exactly welcoming to A, non-majors and B, newcomers. So the fact that not only did Jake help me get comfortable with the theater, but also helped me transition into working with the UTC was really touching. And he was also just someone I felt comfortable with, and I found myself laughing along and enjoying all the times we did spend together. And although he is frustratingly hard to get a hold of sometimes, the truth is he's a phenomenal designer, and it shows in the effort he puts into his work and the joy he has for doing it. And yes, it is daunting to work with someone of that level, especially as a beginner, but as a designer, it was also really inspiring to see what he has done and how much he has.
I'm so fortunate to have learned sound design from you, Talia, especially because I had never worked in sound before the 24-hour musical last fall, and I had zero idea about what I was doing. From the first time I met you, you were kind, patient, and hardworking. You've worked on over 20 UTC shows, as well as a shift supervisor for BEMCO and as a teaching assistant. We've talked about so many different things, from time management to our favorite musicals to The Bachelor. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you do. But I think my favorite memory with you has to be during Little Women. We would record videos to listen to because the cast just sounded so good, and you loved More Than I Am, and I loved Weekly Volcano Press, and I know that you still listen to More Than I Am. So I think that shows like how good our cast was, but also how much you love musicals and working in sound. But even during the show, though, you still always had time to comfort me when I got really upset because Beth died, and it means a lot to me that you did that. But I think that's just who you are. You care about the people you work with, and you want to see them succeed. It will be very different next year without you, and I know I'm going to miss you a lot. But you have a really bright future ahead of you, and you're going to Johns Hopkins for a master's degree in infectious disease epidemiology. #1 ranked school in the nation for your field. It's like super impressive. I'm proud of you. I'm very excited for you, and I can't wait to see the work you do next. Thank you for all that you've done for me, for the countless hours spent listening to me, for taking me to see sweat, even though the smoke from the fake cigarettes almost gave you an asthma. Yeah, we won't talk about that. But I think I'll end this with a quote from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because he told me a story about Andre Braugher that still makes me fangirl so much. But this is Captain Raymond Holt to Diaz. Every time a person steps up and says who they are, the world becomes a better, more interesting place. Your confidence in who you are has inspired me so much, and I'm so grateful to you for our friendship. Congratulations, Talia. Good luck next year.
Hello there. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Saul, and I'm a freshman at Brandeis this year. But of course, I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about Rose Freudberg. For those of you who don't know, Rose hails from Newton, Massachusetts, and has been part of the UTC for a long time, whether it be through different positions on e-board, acting, producing, and directing. As I mentioned, I'm currently a freshman at Brandeis, so my relationship with Rose is rather new. My first experience with Rose was last semester when I joined prod staff for Little Women a week or two into the process. As you can imagine, I was pretty nervous, being a freshman as well as someone who hadn't had much theater involvement prior to Brandeis. This would be the first show that I would actually be a part of, so I was really nervous. Anyways, Rose played a really big role in helping me get acclimated with the theater environment. She taught me all the fun theater terms and phrases that I'd never heard of, and was always ready and more than happy to answer all of my many, many questions. Every single night at rehearsal. Literally every single night I had a lot of questions. Rose is the person that made me realize what I actually wanted to do, which was direct, and it was really cool to get to see her do that every single night at rehearsal, and it really inspired me to get more involved in UTC in general, but specifically to direct. So thank you for helping me find that passion, Rose. What else am I going to say? Okay. Also, fun fact, Rose is the one that encouraged me to direct a quickie, which was my first time directing anything, and it was a really fun surprise because it ended up being that the quickie I directed was about Rose and her friends, so that was a nice little thing too. This past semester, I worked with Rose on P-Board, and it was a really great opportunity to see her in action and witness the genuine excitement and passion that Rose has for the UTC. All of these experiences I've had with Rose really speak to the kind of person that she is. It's clear to everyone she knows that she is one of the... It's clear to everyone she knows, and it's clear to everyone who knows her. Okay, that she's one of the sweetest, kindest, most passionate, committed people on this campus. This Brandeis campus. And I'm really grateful to have her as a friend and to have had her as part of my Brandeis experience. Love you lots, Rose, and thank you for everything you've done for the UTC.
If you had talked to me about a year and a half ago, I would have told you that I thought this person was cool and badass and would never want to be my friend. Our first significant interaction was at Forum in the fall of my freshman year. I was running for diversity coordinator for the first time and had never been to Forum before. The P-Board elections happened to coincide with the dates on which another discussion was taking place. This was before the almighty rule of 3 was instated, and the e-board was discussing whether Becca, who was then the production manager, could be considered to choreograph Mamma Mia. Despite the fact that I had also applied to choreograph, I was wholly on Becca's side. For weeks, I was talking to anybody that would listen about how unfair it was to her. She was the production manager because she loves theater. Who are we to bar her from participating in any way she wants? Fast forward about a month. Unfortunately, the vote had not gone in Becca's favor. I was sad for her, but inspired by the power that she brought to Forum every week. I was so excited about every change she was pushing for. And God, did I want to be her friend. But I was also a first year and was so scared that she resented me because I got the choreographer position. So I remained impressed from a distance and watched her work with so much admiration. And then, on January 17th, 2019, at 5:59 p.m., Becca messaged me. She reached out to me to extend support for my upcoming ABBA endeavors, and holy shit was I in awe. Because here she was, a junior that in my mind had every right to be pissed that some first year was choreographing a show that she was excited about, and for some reason she was apologizing to me for how things went down. Which was crazy, because if anything, I felt I should be apologizing to her. But she messaged me, and she checked in on rehearsals, and I felt so supported and safe. And I knew that Becca Lazinski would leave an everlasting imprint on this club. In March of that same year, Becca casually let me know that she would be running for president. And oh my God, was I stoked. She gave me some insight into the UTC she envisioned, a supportive, encouraging, and chill environment in which all students could explore theater. I knew that the club she was envisioning was one that I definitely wanted to be a part of. I told her how much I supported her. And then, as we all know, Becca Lazinski became El Prez. Even before this pandemic, this year was not easy. But Becca supported me every step of the way, just as she said she would when I began with Mamma Mia. Becca showed me what it takes to be a leader in this club. She constantly reminded me that we're students and we're human, and it made the UTC somewhere where I felt safe to be and safe to fail. I have learned so many things from Becca about supporting others and pushing for what you believe in. She has truly left her imprint on the UTC, and most definitely left one on me. Becca, our friendship started unlike any other. I have never been so grateful to be wrong. You did want to be my friend, and God, do I love being your friend. I'm so sorry that your senior year ended the way it did, but please know that your legacy at Brandeis will never end. You have worked so hard to help make this club one that we can be immensely proud of. I'm so glad you're not leaving Massachusetts, because I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't see your face next year. I am so proud of you and so insanely proud to be your friend. I love you, Becca, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you.